Hey, and good morning, everyone. I hope everyone has been having a fantastic holiday season, actually, because we're behind Thanksgiving and before the holidays. And so this business is actually going to be a perfect business for you to see today. I must put my apologies out there right off the bat. It's a business we've seen before, Oliver and Juliet. And this is the business that the last time we got together, I fell off the interview and they were able to hold down the fort for 30 minutes. Why? Because they're film people. So we're going to bring them back again and talk a little bit about their children's consignment store. And I introduce Michelle Jayme. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
Thank you for agreeing to join me again. And this time we can get to the nitty gritty of the business.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Before we get started, really quickly, I think Naty cannot join us today we hope everything is all well. But we'll definitely have her back again a little bit later when we can do our Where Are They Now show.
Great. That'd be good. She's amazing.
So tell us, first of all, who you are and what you do.
Well, we are a children's consignment store. Our store name is Oliver and Juliet, and we have clothing for children. We have toys, we have books, we have baby gear, anywhere from newborn to 12 years old.
Okay. So Michelle and I have known each other for years. I won't tell how many years, because we both came from film school. We went to film school together. She actually got into the industry, actually, and I was a little too chicken to do it. So I'm trying it now. But so this really is, you're pivoting from that industry to this as an additional means of creating opportunity for yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
And what has that transition been like? What made you and Naty decide to say, we're going to pull off a children's consignment store?
We're still proving it to ourselves. But we just were bored. I mean, honestly, we both work in the film industry. We just sat around during the pandemic, as every other person knows. Their business slowed, and our film business suffered. Mm-hmm. So we just sat around and trying to reinvent. And the truth is, we're very creative people, and creative people just can't sit.
Exactly.
So we just actually, we didn't come into it together. I came home one day and I told my husband, like, I really want to open a shop. I knew I wanted a consignment shop. I was torn between children and adults, but I found the need for a children's consignment shop in our area. And so he said, go for it, as the supporting husband that he's always been. And so I said, okay, fine. So I called Naty, because Naty is a wardrobe stylist in the film business. We worked together for many years, but she also has a background in retail. Mm-hmm. And I called her because I wanted to ask her questions about layouts and how to set up my store. I kind of had, from the time that I thought of the idea to the time I had a business plan, it had been about 7 hours.
Oh, wow.
I ran with it. Everybody went to bed, and at midnight, I was just like drawing sketches and numbers and demographics and things that I think I had picked up from the film industry, because we work at a different pace. We have to start and finish a project within a week or two, if we're talking about a commercial. So I was just, by 1 a.m, I had everything done. I had the name of the store. I had somewhat of a logo. And I called her and I said, I want to sit with you so you can tell me what you think of my layout, what you think of my plan. And we met at a park. Socially distant, because this happened right in the middle of the pandemic. And we spoke about it. I told her my idea. By the end of the meeting, she asked me, if you want a partner, I'm in. And so it was just like that. It just was meant to happen. The only thing is that she says it was like a casting, when you do a casting for a commercial, because right when she said that, I was like, well, I have another business partner that I've been talking to, and I just want to run it by her and let her decline before I say yes to you. And that's really how it happened. And so called her and I said, we're in business. Let's do it. And that was 3 months ago.
So when you started this plan, did you have a formal conversation about how this partnership is going to work, or has it sort of evolved as you've gone along?
We had a pretty good understanding of how it was going to be. We knew that we were going to do 50-50 partnership. We knew that she had strengths that I don't, and vice versa, because I'm a producer, she's a wardrobe stylist, and she's coming from retail. I have no retail experience whatsoever. So we knew that we each had to pull our own weight, but we also knew that we're equal partners and we respect each other's opinion when it comes to what we're going to do with the business. There are things that she is passionate about and I don't care. And things that I really want, because I want it one way and she doesn't care. So it's a good balance.
So you did this in the middle of a pandemic. As you mentioned, my husband's in the film industry. He's worked with you as well. That was a slow time. So where did the investment come from? Or was it a large expense to start a consignment store during a pandemic?
Fortunately, our expenses during to open a consignment shop are not huge. Our biggest investment obviously was the store itself and the rental of the store. And we put in 50-50. And we said, let's see what happens then. And if we have to continue to put some money in order to, while we pick up our sales. But fortunately, once we paid the deposit and everything that you need to do to move into the business, we did some work in the business to put the wardrobe racks and things like that. But once we did that, fortunately, it's paid for itself.
Okay, good.
We never had to reinvest any money. And that is really a good thing when you're talking about first, second, and third month in business.
Absolutely. I agree.
There's a lot of people that still don't know about us. So we only expect to grow from this.
So how have you been able to market at this point?
Word of mouth. We're located in a pretty busy street. We're located in a street where schools get out near us, and the lines of cars back up in front of our store.
Okay.
Kind of like
so out there, put a little sign out there.
We're like just here as they're waiting. Unfortunately, most parents are on their phone while they're sitting in traffic, but that's getting us some people in, and just word of mouth. And we've had a few publications and local things that have happened. But every day we see new people, so it's great.
Okay. So I read your mission, and it says that you have affordable clothing. You're about community and sustainable environment. Why sustainable environment? And which of these messages do you think most resonate with your audience? The audience you've
acquired? The sustainability. I've been very environmentally conscious since I was very young. Very young. I must have been before it was trendy. Collecting for environmental causes when I was very little. I also in high school I ran a recycling program. That wasn't happening. We weren't having recycling at home. And we had to clear out the schools and go and recycle. And those things were new when I went to high school. So sustainability was the number one thing for me. And I think that the biggest message you said, the biggest
that resonates with your audience,
that resonates, is that everybody is now aware of what we need to do to keep the environment healthy. And we want to give things purpose more than just throw things out. I think especially new families, new moms that come in, they're just growing up with a different message. And they are happy to bring us things that they no longer need and resell them, and then they get a percentage back. We give 40% to consigners. So they're happy to give it life again
Mhm.
And then they're happy to buy something because they know that they buy something that was pre-owned and it's in good condition, and their kids are gonna outgrow it very quickly. And so they are very environmentally conscious as well. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. The customers we have here are customers that mention it to us all the time. This is
Okay.
great. I wanted to give it uh to another family. They didn't need it, or I don't know what charity to give it to.
Mhm.
And so they feel good about not throwing things away or making sure that they're going to continue to serve a purpose. We have every month we work with a different charity.
Okay.
So whatever is either not in great condition, because we have things that are in very good condition, so they're like
Mhm.
new. But whatever comes in and it's not necessarily perfect, or whatever is out of season, or we're no longer carrying it on the floor,
Mhm.
we give it to a charity.
Okay.
And
Nice.
every month we work with a different charity. So the first one was a charity for homeless women that were pregnant,
Mm.
specifically. The second one was Lotus House, which is in Miami, and they're
That's
actually
in my neighborhood, actually.
really great. They're really great. Um, and then last month we did a shipment for Nicaragua for the hurricanes that they had. So
Yeah.
we're just every month finding something that has meaning. And so things have been used again, brought
Right.
back, and then they get, the
Repurpose.
purpose. Yeah.
Now you mentioned they get 50% back, I mean 40% back. Is that sort of the standard in the industry in terms of what the payout would be?
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Okay.
Some businesses have less, some businesses have 30%. We not only give 40% back, but we also give it back to the consigners in directly into their bank account. So they don't
Okay.
have to spend it here. Where some businesses might want you to spend it in store, we're like, this is your money, you spend it however you want. It'd be great if you shop here.
Mhm.
That's our biggest message, right? But you don't have to. So we're
And have you found that your return on investment in doing in that way has been successful, that they will return because of the convenience?
yeah. For shopping, you mean?
Mhm. Yes.
Yes, they do, because I think that's the clientele that we have.
Okay.
They're the ones that like to buy used. They know that they're coming here and they're getting products that would be 60% more at a retail, even on sale, even
Mm.
on sale. So we take that into consideration when we price our things. But we
Okay.
also have items that are um, they're brand names. They're not just brand names. I'm talking about um, designer clothing
Right. Right.
and shoes that would normally be $420. We have a pair of shoes here that are
For
400.
kids?
Gucci shoes for children, and
Really?
we have a pair here. So it's like we have that, and then we have some Old Navy items. So it's all,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, I don't have any kids, but I almost want to come buy a pair just because I can't believe this $420 shoe for kiddos. So the name is Oliver and Juliet. Would you explain that?
Yes. So Oliver is one of my sons. I have three boys.
Okay.
And Oliver, I'm the only one that calls him Oliver. He goes by his middle name, which is Xander.
Okay.
And my other boys and my husband refused to call him Oliver. They were like, we like Xander better. And I was like, well, nobody calls this kid Oliver. So that's where Oliver came from. And then Juliet is the name that I would have named my daughter if I had.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was just like I have to use that name somewhere because I ended up having three boys and no girls. So that's where the name came from, and it's a fictional personalities that we have. We have here the little,
Yeah.
the Oliver, and then we have. Let's see if I could pan this right. That's Juliet. So
Right. Oh, that's so cute.
and so it was just a story. I think the nature of coming from the film business, you want to give everything a personality. What's the story? And that's
Right.
where that came from.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's talk about two different things. One, entrepreneurship and still working. Because I know the industry has opened up again. How are you able to manage? How are you and Naty both in the film industry able to manage opening up the store, making yourself available to both the business and your customers, as well as the industry that you're in? How have you worked out those particulars?
We keep it a secret.
And it's now going to be told here. I know.
Actually, no, we both have thriving businesses or careers in the film business. And although it did get slow, things have picked up. And so we came to an agreement. We may have jobs together. We may have days that she could work, the days that I could work. So we have a calendar and we commit. So it's either her or me here. The good thing is that we can work from here. We can make phone calls. We can do a lot of things that we have to do for our film business while attending the customers. So, in between customers, I should say. And when she's not here and I'm not here, then we do have somebody that works with us.
Okay. So there is a standard opening time that we can always know that you're going to be open. Then let's turn to motherhood, because you're also both mothers. So that can't be easy. So how have you been able to also manage that as well? Being sort of full-time, double working women and raising children. That's always
during homeschool. Everything's a challenge, right? I think when you're single and you start your career, that's a challenge because it's new. And then you have your children, and that's a challenge because it's new. And so we're just crazy that way. We just keep adding on. But the truth is, you need to have something that makes you and keeps you sane, and it's your project and it's outside of the house. And at least for me and a lot of moms that I've spoken to, we just need to have something that has a purpose other than being at home.
That's all wrong.
Yeah, priority number one is my children and their well-being, and that I'm there for them. But I've been very fortunate to work from home while I'm working in the film industry for many years. So never had a nanny. I never had to, have anybody else take care of them but me. But I think now they're at an age where I could be gone, and my store is really about 5 blocks away from my house. So they bike right over here all the time. And they're, and the little one, who's Oliver, he's really proud.
I was going to say, how do they feel about mommy having a store?
He thinks it's his store, so because it has his name on it. But everything's a challenge. But everything at the same time is very, very rewarding. To be able to set your mind to open a business and to do it and to follow through, and then to be, at an upward, trajectory. It's really rewarding. And I think that when our kids see us thriving and happy and purposeful, they learn from that. And, and they say they're proud. I think
they're a lot prouder than they own up to. I'm sure with boys, they're like,
No, you got to pull it out. You got to pull it out of them, because they're not going to just say, "I'm proud of you." But
I know they'll talk. You'll listen to them talking to their friends, and all of a sudden, you realize, oh, he likes me.
Well, actually, my oldest is now doing college applications, and
really?
He's a senior. And his letter, I should say his essay for the college app, talked about me, to my surprise. Of course, I'm in tears.
Right.
And he writes about how he just wants to be his mom. Like, he wants to be just like his mom. And that was a huge surprise for me.
Nice.
Because we don't talk about it all that much.
Right.
We're just
mom, you think.
You're just going about your business and making sure that they eat what they're supposed to eat, and they go on time. And so I was really, really surprised in the way that the little things that we do impact our children so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they are paying attention. They are paying attention. And having watched a mother who was a hard worker as well, I know the example of how I operate came from her. So trust me, they're paying
Right.
attention.
As I did with my mom. Yeah, so it goes. So it's the hardest, there's no lying. It's the hardest thing, the hardest job. But it's also very, very rewarding. And yeah, and I live to make them proud. That's my
So
purpose.
I know you are. What's been the biggest challenge with your startup?
Um, wow, that's a really good question. Uh, we haven't hit a challenging point just yet. I
Really?
think if I had to say something that could improve, it could be better.
Mhm.
Maybe more shoppers, more customers. A lot of people, like today, we have 2 drop-off days in the month, and a lot of people come in and they drop off, and they
Mhm.
don't necessarily shop. And I think that would be our biggest challenge if I had to say one. Just
Okay.
some come in and they spend more than what they dropped off, so
Okay.
it's great. But if I had to say there's one thing that could improve would be that we encourage our customers to, once they drop off, just take a look, take a sweater, take
I
take
know. Buy a pair of shoes.
right,
Something way up.
because
Yeah.
it's the purpose. But we're finding that a lot of the customers that drop off don't always buy, but then there's other ones that never drop off and they shop.
Have you asked some of the customers what their shopping cycle is like, what they might be looking for, just to maybe get some idea as to what incentivizes them to shop when they do?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's so easy to shop online right now.
Yeah,
And we're competing with a market that has amazing sales. It's just like the sales out there right now are incredible.
right,
So
right,
that's our competition. And when they say online shopping, because we just had to do everything online for a little bit, right? We weren't getting out, but we need things. And where do we go? We shop online. We all do it. And I
right.
think that's our biggest comment is we don't have time or we just forget or whatever. But I think those things will change once we establish more of a clientele that knows that we're here, and we'll see. But that
Now,
I
the online shopping though was pre-pandemic. So,
mhm.
are there plans in the works to ultimately go to an e-commerce?
Well, we do have online sales. We do post things online.
Okay,
And we do a lot of social media. We put things up where people could just click on a link and shop.
gotcha.
So we have people that see it. I just have to have that little dress for my daughter. Click
Okay,
on it, pay for it, and we set it aside. We haven't done shipping because our stuff is local, and we love it that they come in. We love that the customers come in, but they come in and it's ready.
right.
And that's been, yeah. We have to have an online presence to compete.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, what is your 3-year plan? I mean, have you thought through your strategic plan over the year, the next 3 years, the next 5 years? I know that's a conversation right now I've had with at least two entrepreneurs that I know very well. And I know I've challenged myself for, really knowing where you're going over the next 5 years. Or are you really sort of just focused on today and then, ultimately grow to that place in space?
For me, it was always a long year term. That didn't make any sense. For me, it was a long term goal. Um, I think eventually we'd like to grow the business, and we'd like to open, maybe go into franchising. It's
Nice.
it's not a new concept for children's consignment. It does exist, but not in the Southeast area the way that we would like for it to be.
Okay.
So I think that would be our 5-year goal. Uh,
Okay.
Beyond that, I don't know. I don't know how long. how
Then you do.
long I love building things and then selling. So if in the future I'm talking like beyond 5 years, maybe sell the business if it's doing well. Those are things that have, you know, crossed my mind at some point. But we first need to build it, and we first need to make it really strong.
Mhm.
That's what our goal is from here to 5 years.
Have you owned a business before? Has Naty?
We own business. I've owned a production company. I owned a production company for 12 years with a partner that we both know that also went to film school with us.
Yes.
We had that company for 12 years, and it was a point that we both needed to do something similar but different.
Right.
And so we're best of friends. But yeah, so I did own that company, and I currently have a production company as well. So I have a production this week.
Okay.
And that doesn't stop. And that's, I have to say, that's my first baby, and that's my first love. And I don't intend on, I don't know if this is right to say, but I don't intend on leaving the film business. So,
Any same thing you want to say.
just, but I don't want anybody to think I'm not completely passionate about the store, because that is a very important part of my life.
Right.
But right now, but yeah, I mean, film, it's what I grew up to do. So we
So you just needed something else to be another outlet to
yeah,
to invest in, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's diversify. It's all about diversification. And I know that Naty also has her company. She, like I said, she is a wardrobe stylist in the film business.
Okay.
We do personal shopping at the store, and she handles that. She's amazing when people walk in. She knows what they want, and she knows how to show them exactly what they need. But she does have a business, and so we both have experience in that sense.
So you've been able to transfer your knowledge of business into what you're doing today that really seems to be serving you well.
Yeah, it's amazing what you pick up throughout the years on how to run a business, and just the fact that I could do a business plan and not get stuck, because years ago I would get stuck doing my business plan. And to not be able to see the vision, or get stuck on what the logo is going to be like, or get stuck on, there's these little things that now I know I need to move past that. And if I can't do it, I'm going to hire somebody that does it, because we take on too much and then nothing gets done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was talking to someone the other day about how a business plan is ebbs and flows anyway. So we were kind of talking about, what the business plan I started with is probably slightly shifted from what it is today. So I probably need to redo it. So as long as it stays fluid.
Right. Exactly. So I think that's where we are, we're getting a lot better at that.
Good. Yeah. So, who is your target market, and how did you? You've said that your target market is definitely parents. What would you like to grow that to? I mean, what types of parents, or is there a particular growth pattern you'd like to get?
We do target parents, but for example, I'm in a because I have nothing else to do. I'm in a group that talks about seed share. It's a seed share group, and I got these. We had somebody consign some little plant tomato growing kits for the house. I shared that with my seed growing group, and I got a bunch of people interested in more. And for me, I'm like, wait a second, we don't carry an inventory. We just got these 2 items, and it is what it is. But then we got customers that were like, well, let me see your store, because we have nieces and nephews, because they're not parents, but if you can find somebody, we got a lady also that texted me the other day saying, what kind of books do we have on this subject? She wanted books on environmental causes and things like that. And so I pulled the books. We have a ton of books, and I pulled books, and she bought 12 books. I sent her pictures.
Nice.
She said, I want this one, this one, this one. She picked the 12 books. I charged her card, and they're sitting here waiting for her to pick it up today.
Very nice.
It's not necessarily somebody that has children, or even little children. It's just thinking beyond the box, thinking beyond what else do they have that we could do. Now with the holiday season coming up, we have a ton of things for people to give to children. I mean, they're all for children, but I think our thing is to just broaden any opportunity that we have to say, hey, I have something that might be good for you, or we have face masks, we have mosquito repellent, we have lip balm, we have we have
Right.
always staying within the same theme, but there's something for everyone. And I think that's the thing, for people to know that you don't have to have kids 12 and under to shop here.
And I think the last time you actually, I really encourage people to go back and check out the show, because, the beauty of dealing with film folks, they kept the show going, but they also showed product. They showed you what they had in their store, which was one of the things many people asked about. So I'm very excited that you had a chance to do that for sure, because I think that's a great opportunity for those might be interested in shopping at your store.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, have you learned any lessons? You said over the years, you'd be surprised what you've learned in other businesses that you've applied. What are some of those specific lessons that you've learned as an entrepreneur in both businesses that you treasure and feel would be valuable to any other entrepreneur you're speaking to?
I think the biggest lesson for me has been that you have to put the hours in. You have to treat it like it's the best thing that you have. The most important and valuable thing that you can spend your time doing. I think that if we don't invest time in our businesses, it's not going to happen on its own.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work, but having the idea that you're going to grow really fast and then get some people to run it for you, I think is we all want to get there one day, but we have to put the time in. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned, is that we have to put in the time.
Are you ever afraid as an entrepreneur?
No, it's weird.
No.
I'm not. I'm just not. You're just talking about the film business and being afraid to go in. I just never had that. I never had the fear of failure. Not to say that I couldn't fail. I felt like I could deal with it if it happened.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad I need a little bit of that in it. Like that bit of lightning in the bottle.
Nothing's gonna happen anyway, so you might as well either do it or not. At the end of the day, we're gonna end up in the same place. So, that was always my it's always been my thing.
Okay, cool. Hey, look, I will be talking to you about that a little bit later. That's definitely going to be the way of the future. So I think that's everything I wanted to ask you, other than how can we find you? I want to make sure everybody knows where they can find you and locate you, especially if or otherwise.
Well, good follow on Instagram would be a good start, because if you're not close to us, we can always ship things and you can know what's going on with our store. We do have sales and events and things like that. So that's Oliver and Juliet with the letter N. Juliet is our handle. Facebook the same. And we're located in Miami. I don't know if you want specifics as to where.
Yeah, you can tell your address.
Our address is 11075 Northeast 6th Avenue, which is located between Miami Shores and Biscayne Park.
Okay.
So we're right in the middle of both neighborhoods, and we're in a really great street and easy to find, lots of parking lot and friendly faces.
Cool. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for agreeing to do this again. Last time I was horrified. I was like, what is going on with my internet? This is driving me crazy.
I'm glad it happened with us.
Exactly. Me too. I'll definitely be in touch. I'll be in touch, because we'll try to connect for sure. Tell Naty I said we missed her. We hope she can join us again next time. And we hope all is well. Please keep us posted.
Will do. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
You have a good one. Have a great day.
Yes, you too.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm very glad we had a chance to bring them back on board and talk a little bit about the children's consignment shop business. I'm actually always intrigued by the consignment business in and of itself. I think it's a very interesting industry, and for children, it just really kind of makes sense. Even though I'm not a parent, I do think it makes perfect sense. So we'll see you again. We're going into the holidays, so I think the schedule will be a little sporadic, but we'll see you soon. Thank you for tuning in again, and please have a great day. Check out our website. Check out Facebook, Instagram, Talking Business. We're all over the place. So looking forward to talking to you soon.